Hello guys, today we are going to learn useMemo hook. useMemo hook is a hook which help us to increase the performance of our application. So let's implement useMemo hook in our component. So first we need to import useMemo from React. Also I am going to import useState from React. So here we are going to create two buttons, one for add and another for minus. Also I am going to create one function whose name is multiply. Now here I am going to console multiply value now I am going to create two buttons. First I am going to add br tag. Now I am going to create one button for increment the value of add variable. Now I am going to create another button where we decrement value of minus button. So let me also add one br tag for the alignment. So here you can see this multiply function is dependent on it's returning add dependent values. So first I want to click on add button. So first I also want to show the value of add variable value to the UI. And here minus value to the UI. So here you can see initially we have value as 0 for each variable. Now when I click on add button, it will increment the value of add variable 1 and it will also trigger multiply function. Now here you can also see this multiply function is triggered and the console value come to the console log. Now when I want to click on minus button, again this multiply function is get triggered, but I don't want to trigger when user click on minus button because it will decrease the performance of our application. So here what I want to do, when user click on add button, at that time this function going to be triggered because this function is dependent on to the add variable. So for that one we are going to use useMemo hook. So now we are going to wrap this multiply function into useMemo hook. And now we are going to add dependency add. So here we are telling so let me clear the console. So here our aim is when user click on add button, then this multiply function going to be triggered, and when user click on minus button, this function is not going to be triggered. So let's test it out. So when I click on minus button, here you can see now console value is not login into the console log. And again, let me click on minus button. Here you can test it out. This console value and this multiply value is not triggering to the UI because we have added add dependency, and when user click on add button, this add variable going to be increment. At that time this multiply function is going to be triggered. So let's test it out. Let me click on add button. Now here you can see this multiply function is get triggered and it will return the value of add by multiply by 10. So here you can see also this console value is shown onto the console log. Again, when I click on the add button, again this console is triggered and now the value multiplied by 2. So now the value is 20. Now again let me click on the minus button. You can see now this value minus button value is got decrement by 1, but this multiply function is not get triggered. So this way we can increase the performance of our application. So that's why we are using useMemo to increase our application functionality and performance. So that is the basic information regarding the useMemo. Thank you guys.